Yo, Still Bills, what's the deal, man? I got a pretty good night's rest last night. I'm a little bit more energetic today, man. I just been tired, man, the past couple of days, man. It just be like that sometimes, man. But peep game, man. Oh, and my Spanish teacher gave me a little bit of, self-esteem boost. You dig? I thought I was failing miserably in that class. She was like, yo, your grade is getting up there. All my years in school, them was words that I never heard. Me in school does not, water and vinegar. We never mixed. But because I want to learn another language, I want to speak Spanish. This is something that I want to do, so it's a little bit easier for me to get on my homework. So I have fun doing homework. But peep game, man, we got to rap about something, man, and that is what Bivol said as it pertains to a Canelo Alvarez rematch. All praises due. All praises due. You know why? Because his mind is set on becoming undisputed, man. Like I said before, this generation of fighters may not be producing the level of talent and star caliber talent, star caliber boxers that that previous generations have spawned, because I think it's just, due to dodgy matchmaking and well, what's crazy though, boxing is it's more available in the now than it ever has been. It's a multitude of channels and platforms and apps or whatever that show boxing content on it. So the fact that we don't have the superstar caliber talent that we had from yesteryear is kind of daunting. I'm gonna do a video on that too. Man. But yeah, we may not be producing that level of talent in the manner that we produced it from yesteryear, man. But one thing that we cannot deny is the fact that these fighters are aiming for undisputed. They don't want to leave no doubt for nobody to say that, yo, man, well, he's the best in the division. No, nigga, I got all the belts. I'm the best in the division. I love that. So the fact that he's talking about he wants that drama with Beterbiev, that is perfect. And why is that perfect? Because that means Canelo has to fight the niggas at 168 pounds. He has to fight David Benavidez. He has to fight David Benavidez. He has to fight David Benavidez. He has to fight the winner of John Ryder and Zach Parker. He has to go and holler at them. If Demetrius Andre does really move up and he dips his toe in the 168-pound pool, he has to go holler at him. That's what I want. I honestly didn't even want the Bivol fight. I was like, yo, all right, that's a damn good fight. It's a challenge. And I didn't even see Canelo winning the fight. I did a video on it. I didn't see Canelo winning that fight, and the prediction stuck. But I always saluted him for being the dude to jump up and do that shit. And the fact that he want that drama again, that speaks to his level of commitment and savagery, honestly. I want that run back. I want that fade again. I wasn't ever mad at that, but I just honestly wanted to see him before he moved up. I wanted him to leave all doubters to rest. I wanted him to spend all of last year cleaning up the 168-pound division. I wanted him to do that last year. I wanted him to do that last year before he jumped up, because all that fluctuating in weight, man, that could fuck you up. Ask Roy Jones. That could fuck you up. Now, granted, he ain't fought at 175 pounds since that was before. What was that, 2019? He fought at 175, 2019, I think, when he knocked out Kovalev. So you go from 2019 to 2022. That's a pretty good time span. But the fact is, you shouldn't be doing that still. Move up gradually. Man. And I think in this moment, let Bivol go up there and have his let him go up there and have his, get his meaningful fights in at 175 pounds. Let him go. He fights Zerto next month, and he's looking to lock horns with Beterbiev later on next year. Cool. Let him go up there and do that. So we know now he's going to be busy for two fights. Canelo, you need to go ahead and catch Benavidez in the now. Go ahead and catch him in the now. Go catch him in the now. Now, you know what I'm saying? I don't see where there should be no reasons as to why you don't go and fight this dude next year. There should be no reason for that. And I'm gonna be real. I'd understand if you wanted to fight John Ryder or Zach Parker, the winner of them. I'd understand if you was to fight the winner of those two before you was to fight David Benavidez. I wouldn't be mad about it if you gave it, because a lot of Mexicans don't fuck with Cinco de Mayo, contrary to popular belief. They don't fuck with Cinco de Mayo. They're like, man, this white man's holiday. This ain't a celebration for us. In Mexico, a lot of Mexicans do not fuck with Cinco de Mayo, as they should, as they shouldn't. You dig? That's not their holiday. Mexican Independence Day is a completely different ball game. So if you want to fight the winner of Zach Parker and John Ryder on Cinco de Mayo, and then come back and have a showdown with David Benavidez, that would be balling. That would absolutely be balling if you did that. I would not be mad at that. I think that would be logical. Line it up with Zach Parker, the winner of Zach Parker and John Ryder for Cinco de Mayo. I bet that. We got that out the way. Give me David Benavidez for Mexican Independence Day. You have to fight one of these motherfuckers next year. You have to. You have to. You have to. There's no wiggling around it. You can't get around it. You can't find that. I don't want to see you jump back up and fight nobody at 175 pounds. Not yet. I don't want to see that shit. I don't. I wouldn't be mad at it. If you decided to go fight Zordo, I wouldn't be mad at that. I wouldn't be mad at that at all. I'd be disappointed though. No, actually I wouldn't be, because Zordo is a bigger fight. I think Zordo is a bigger fight than David Benavidez. Zordo would be a bigger fight than David Benavidez because he's a Mexican national. So I wouldn't be mad at that fight, but I would be like, come on, man. You're like, come on, bro. Now, granted, there's nothing you can do. Everybody you fight, you're gonna be. It's the same with Lomachenko. Lomachenko dug Devin Haney, but he fought Teofimo Lopez. It's asinine. So you can fight David Benavidez, but you duck Jermall Charlo. You can fight Jermall. You can stop David Benavidez and then stop Jermall Charlo, but you duck Demetrius Andrade. You dig? So it's always gonna be some bullshit attached to your name just because motherfuckers is just that. They're that envious of you and that aggravated with you, or whatever you want to call it. They're always gonna have something slick to say about you. That's just how the story goes. It was the same with Floyd. It comes with the territory of being the face of the sport, and them wanting you to fight who they want you to fight. The fact that it was even people calling Bivol a cherry pick is beyond me. It's absolutely beyond me. That we're mad that you decided to fight Bivol, and then after he beat you, they was mad that they was calling you a duck for not going back up there and getting the rematch with him. But they completely disregarded the talks of a rematch. They disregarded all of that shit. I'm like, yo, y'all niggas is weirdos, bona fide weirdos. I'm like, y'all niggas is brazy right now, bro. Like. I never understood that. I never understood that. I'm like, y'all dudes do not watch boxing. Y'all do not watch boxing. Bivol is a cherry pick. In what stratosphere has Bivol ever been deemed a cherry pick? He is the one or two, even with one belt, he's still perceived as the best 75 pounder with one belt, and Beterbiev has 3. All knockouts in his victories. But people still feel Bivol is that dude in the division. But he's a cherry pick? Y'all, I'm like, y'all are some weirdos. Just because Canelo decided to go up there and fight him. It was a whole bunch of shit. Oh man, he only got 18 fights. So what? You do realize when you have an extensive amateur pedigree, you get fast-tracked through the rankings. And it a lot of times bears good fruit. Hence, Vasily Lomachenko. Hence, Johnny Beck. Hence, Artur Beterbiev, hence Dmitry Bivol. He was a beast in the amateurs. He was that dude in the amateurs. You get fast track. People get so caught up in records like you're supposed to have this extensive, you know, you're supposed to have 20 and 30 fights and all that. It's like, man, there's fighters. Sugar Ray only had like 30 fights. Not everybody is going to have 40 plus fights and shit, man. How many fights does Spence have? 30? Does he barely got 30? Right, let's stop playing games, man. So it's ridiculous how people was coming to this, you know, convoluted conclusion that Canelo was cherry picking Bivol and it went wrong. I'm like, y'all are blithering idiots. But that just goes to show people have this high level of vitriol towards a dude because they want him to fight dudes who ain't really did shit. So come next year, that notion should be put to rest. You should go and fight the niggas who ain't did shit, honestly. Just to get that shit over with, because I'm gonna be real. None of them niggas are beating Canelo. None of them. I see nobody at 168 pounds dealing with Canelo. Nobody. I'm even hearing people talk about David Morrell would beat Canelo. And this is a situation where you say, yo, he only got 6 fights. If he was like Lomachenko and fought for a title in his second fight, we'd be cooking with rice. But that's not the case with him. That's not the case with him. This dude he swerved the David Benavidez fight. Talking about he has mandatories to honor. With what belt, bro? You got a Gervonta Davis belt. No mandatories. What are you talking? You're not a champion. Go get that drama with David. I just don't be seeing like, yo, this shit wild style. This shit is wild style. So at the end of the day, Canelo, these are you need to have 168 pounders in your scope for next year. I don't want to see you pull up nobody from 160 unless it's Jamal Charlo. That's the only 60 pounder that you need to be dealing with. And he shouldn't even be at 60 come next year. If what they saying is real as it pertains to him and motherfucking Danny Jacobs, he need to, all right, cool. Now bet that. That's a fight that should have been made years ago, as I stated in the last video. But that's the only, or Demetrius Andre. But Demetrius is even talking about he wants a tune-up fight, which I can understand that shit. But all in all, I do not want to see Canelo in there with anybody but 168 pounders next year. But that should put pressure on you 168 pounders as well. Y'all shouldn't be fighting bullshit fights. Go and fight in meaningful fights to where you have no... Canelo has to come and holler at you now. He has no choice but to come and holler at you. He has no choice. You're giving him no room to breathe. It's too much pressure on him for him to say, all right, man, I got to go. I'm going to go and fight him and fight him and fight him and fight him. Nah. Caleb Plant, that... You need... Caleb Plant and David Benavidez need to be fighting at the beginning of next year. The fact that this dude is getting a fucking Uskateki fight for January is disgusting to me. That shit is nasty. Sickening. Take your ass over there and fight Plant. Stop Plant. And then move on to fight Canelo Alvarez. You dig? Demetrius Andre, go up there, fight Plant. Since David Benavidez don't want to fight him, you don't need no tune-ups. Just go in for the kill. At this point, you need to go ahead and jump in the shark in the croc pool, bro. You had 2 fights last year. It was not meaningful fights. Fuck it. Fuck it. You can't waste no time. You can't waste no time. That you fumbled that Zach Parker fight so bad. That shit was nasty. And if John Ryder, I made a video, y'all heard my video. If John Ryder fucks around and beats Zach Parker, how goofy is that gonna make you look? So he has no obligations in the now. He had an obligation last year to Bivol. He had an obligation last year to Golovkin. That's where his time was. He has no obligations in the now. So y'all need to make him a top. Y'all need to make him make y'all top priority. How do y'all do that? Get in there and fight each other. Get in there and fight each other. Fight Caleb Plant. Fight Andre. Fight Andre. Charlo, you move up. Y'all, it all needs to be. Everybody wants to. You know, I was listening to an interview with David Benavidez. If I gotta fight 10 fights to get that Canelo Alvarez fight, that's what I'll do. You don't need to fight 10 fights. You just need to fight one. You just need to fight the right fight, the meaningful fight. And that's with Caleb Plant. Go fight Caleb Plant. He's right. You only beat one champion in your career, yeah, but at this moment, you're not jumping up to 75. He's at 68, and he's the only champion at 68, so there is no other champion for you to beat at 168 besides him that could warrant you a fight with him. All you need to do is fight the right fight. Caleb Plant is the right fight. Uzcategui is not going to get you that. You're not getting a fight with Uzcategui, bro. It's not going to happen. Y'all ain't putting pressure on this nigga for him to say, yo, all right, yeah, well, I'm going to go and I'm going to fight him. Y'all are putting no pressure on this dude. No pressure. And y'all get mad when he decides to go and fight Bivol and Golovkin. Y'all get mad at that. So do what y'all need to do. Do what y'all need to do. And go up there and fight whoever it is that y'all need to fight. Don't go up there and just schedule a fight. Just look, we don't need no more stay busy fights from you motherfuckers. We don't need none of that. I think Caleb Plant is the only one who's on some, yo, man, I want a rematch. I want to run that back. All right, fight the meaningful fights. And let's see if you can get that rematch. Maybe you don't get it, but you need to work towards that goal of getting it. And how do you work towards that goal? You fight top opposition. No more Feigen boots. No more Mike Lees. No more Caleb Truaxes. No, none of them. None of them. Benavidez. No more Kyron Davises. No more Lemieux. I think Kyron Davis is nice, by the way. He's just not a 168 pounder. Go fight who you need to fight and force this man's hand. So when he comes back, because I don't think he's gonna take a year off. I wouldn't want him to take a year off. And I just think he's too dedicated to the sport to take a year off. So go fight who y'all need to fight. Nigga spent last year doing nothing. Doing nothing. Not last year, I'm saying last year. Like, well, shit, nah. I'm saying this year, like, it's last year. I meant this year. Nigga spent an entire year doing nothing. Charlo, no fight. Andre, no fight. Got out of 2. He's managed to get out of 4 fights this year. He got out of Johnny Beck twice. And wiggled out of Zach Parker twice. That's 4 fights that he's gotten out of in the calendar year. And the year isn't even over. That's nasty. That's nasty. That shit's disgusting. That is disgusting. Wiggled out of a Zach Parker fight twice and a Johnny Beck fight twice. David Benavidez, you fought David Lemieux 3 rounds. You sitting down for the rest of the year. Resign with PBC. Resign with PBC. Even though according to you, they got y'all looking stupid. You resign to PBC. And fight once more this year. You only fight 1 time this year. And the fight that you're looking to come back in around January is a fight that shouldn't even be on your radar. And y'all think, like, this is, like, no, this is when we say deserve it, bro. Like, y'all, this is what we mean. This is what we mean. Y'all are trying to do the minimum amount because you're repeating the steps of Demetrius Andre. David, you're a mandatory. All right, bet you're a mandatory. And instead of really pushing that notion that you just feel like, yo, being a mandatory is enough, so I don't have to do anything else but hold on to this interim strap. And you content with that. And the detractors are gonna, they're gonna ride for you on that, because it continues to push this, this narrative that Canelo is ducking y'all. Man, look, spend next year, get out of the Benavidez, get out of that Uzcategui fight and go holler at Caleb Plant. If you are a fan of David Benavidez, y'all should be holding his feet to the fire. Fuck that Uzcategui fight. Go holler at Caleb Plant. It's right there, ready to be made. It's right there, ready to be fucking made. Go do that. Any real fan is gonna hold his feet to the fire and tell him that, bro, this ain't it. This ain't it. Put it like this: can Canelo fight Jose Uzcategui? Can he fight him? Can he fight Kyron Davis? Can he go fight all these other fighters? So if they're not, if you will criticize Canelo for fighting those fighters, why do the fighters that y'all support get to go fight these fighters and not be vilified for it? I think that's a fair question. I think that's very fair. Go fight who y'all need to fight so y'all can force this man's hand when he comes back next year for Cinco de Mayo and Mexican Independence Day. Y'all go fight them and force him to fight y'all. And there's really no much more I can say about it, man. So I'm going to work, man. Deuces.